You know that feeling when you're trying to learn something new and you just feel completely lost, like you're wading through this thick fog? Well, that's the journey we're going on today. The journey we all take, from that initial confusion to that incredible feeling of a real breakthrough. So let's start with our key word for the day, nebulous. I mean, what a perfect description, right? It's that fuzzy, hazy feeling at the beginning of any learning process, when an idea is just out of reach. You can't quite see its shape yet.
And that really brings us to the big question here. I want you to think about this for a sec. It's not just a simple yes or no, is it? How do you really, truly know when that fog has finally lifted and you've gotten to that point of genuine understanding?
Okay, so to answer that, let's break it down and start with the very first stage of our journey. That initial push from feeling totally lost, from that nebulous state, to something a little more solid, something you could call known. Here's the first thing you gotta realize. Not all aha moments are created equal. The source material makes a great point that there's this whole spectrum of satisfaction. The little kick you get from understanding one thing can be worlds apart from the feeling you get understanding something else. And that brings us to, honestly, what can be the most exciting part of this whole thing? The pure joy you find when you decide to really go deep on a topic. This comparison just captures that spectrum perfectly, doesn't it? I mean, figuring out how to use your new microwave, yeah, it's a small victory. You feel like, neat. But wrapping your head around a concept as massive as quantum computing, that feeling is just amazing. It's a completely different level of accomplishment. Right, and that amazing feeling, it's kind of addictive. It just pulls you in. Once you get a little taste of that deep, satisfying understanding, you just want more. You start peeling back the layers, you get hooked on exploring all the amazing, intricate details hidden inside a big topic. But here's the catch. Whenever you travel deep into something complex, it's almost inevitable. Eventually, the path just seems to disappear. That initial excitement starts to curdle into frustration, and all of a sudden, you feel completely and utterly lost. Yeah, the source material calls this a roadblock, but I think the wall is even better. It's that sudden, jarring moment where all your progress just screeches to a halt. You slam right into it, and you just can't seem to find a way forward. This quote from the source material just nails the feeling, you know? It's not just about being stuck. It's about being disoriented. You're deep inside this topic, you're surrounded by all this information, but you've totally lost your bearings. And hitting the wall isn't just an intellectual problem. It's a really emotional one. You're dealing with mental burnout, just raw frustration, and this awful feeling of being buried alive by the same complexity you were so excited about just a little while ago. Okay, so you're in the cave, you've hit the wall. How in the world do you get out? Well, luckily, the source gives us a really simple but incredibly powerful strategy for finding your way back into the light. It's really just two crucial steps. First, and this is so important, stop pushing. Just stop. Instead, write down everything you do understand. Solidify your position. Then, and this is the key, you have to step back, like physically get up, walk away, and let your mind rest. And let's be clear, this is not about giving up, not at all. It's a strategic retreat. By writing down what you know and then just disengaging, you're basically letting your subconscious go to work. You're reloading, getting ready to come back and hit that wall with way more focus and precision. And when you do come back, after taking that break, that's when it happens. You often hit the final, and honestly, the most rewarding stage of this whole journey, the breakthrough. You finally see the clear sky that was hiding behind all those clouds of complexity. Man, this final quote just ties everything together so beautifully. All that frustration, all that complexity, those are the clouds. We get so hyper-focused on them, staring right at them, that we totally forget there's a perfectly clear sky waiting just beyond. The breakthrough is that moment you finally look past the clouds. And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. The reward for pushing through the wall, it's not just about understanding the topic. It's about experiencing this deeper, more profound level of happiness and satisfaction that you just couldn't have gotten otherwise. The struggle is what makes the clarity so, so sweet. So as we wrap up, I'm just going to leave you with this one thought. In your own life, your own work, your own learning, what are the clouds that you're staring at right now? And what would it take for you to just step back for a minute so you can finally see that clear sky?